Ah, okay, so today I want to share with you the tricks of booking Alaska, what you need to know, what it is important to know about Alaska before you even book it and promote it. I just came back from Alaska cruise on Princess, and of course, I got my certificate of Princess Cruises Commodore, and I had my Princess Cruise in Alaska. What is important to understand is whenever you book Alaska, I'm going to share with you my presentation. One sec. Okay, it's being recorded. Okay. Give me one sec. Technical support. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sharing with you on the screen where I am only, and that says thank you for watching. So let's start from the back. Thank you for watching me. My name is Ilona Nesterova, and I'm gonna start with you from the back of this presentation. But we're gonna get there, where we're gonna go and see the slideshow from beginning. Okay, mute all. Here you go. We are on Tuesday, it's July 23rd, 9 p.m., and we are starting the Alaska presentation. So what do we need to know when we are booking Alaska? We have to find out the booking tips, what are excursions in Alaska, what are land activities, and what are the pre and post cruise activities. For example, if your client is going to Alaska, I highly recommend to book it 3 days in advance to have a flight because it happened to me. I dressed up all in sweaters and fluffy clothes. And the moment we went to Alaska, we were stopped on the layover or in Texas and in Dallas, and it was 100 degrees, and we were all in sweaters and hot clothes, and we had to do our 24 hours layover just because we were not expected the flight to be not connected on time. So you have to be ready for your client for any delays, cancellations, or whatever it is. So send them 3 days in advance. Let them spend some time in the city where the port is instead of missing their cruise because it is going to be more expensive. We're going to discuss hotels to stay and what clothes to take. What is important? Let's talk about the ports where the cruise of Alaska is going. Top 5 ports of cruise starting points. Seattle, Washington. They have direct from you fly to Seattle and you go do the loop and you come back to Seattle. This is closed loop. The other way, you can do open loop. You can start in Seattle and you go all the way to all destinations and you can end up in Anchorage. And then you have to fly from another destination back to your hometown. So you have to prepare your client that they have either take one flight round trip, which is cheaper and easier, or they will have to take 2 flights, one directly to one destination and then to another destination coming back, which is more expensive. I did this for my family. We had a trip from Vancouver. We started Vancouver, British Columbia. We flew down to Vancouver. We spent 3 days in Vancouver. We had delay for one day in Dallas. I had to go to Six Flags in Dallas. I'm claiming my insurance right now. for over $1,000 just because they delayed my flight. And if I didn't do 3 days in advance, I would miss my cruise. So you can do that. Then for San Francisco, you can do cruise from San Francisco or start from Anchorage and finish either in Anchorage or in Vancouver or any other of those ports. And Whittier, Alaska, where they have only one building that every single citizen of that single city lives in that beautiful building, and maximum during the year is 200 people under one building. Those are all the people that live in beautiful Whittier, Alaska. And remember, if you need to get out of there, you need to book your car rental in advance. Otherwise, you will have to do the bus transportation to Anchorage, and that will cost you 69 per person minimum, which we paid like $300 for 4 people, which we could rent a car if we booked it in advance. One more hint. Okay, what is important? As I said, if you have your client traveling from another state, they don't live in the Seattle or any of other 5 ports, you are better off to book the flight in advance, 2 days in advance, than pre-cruise and post-cruise stays. You have clients that are having no crazy appetites, like don't need luxury. You can book them in any Holiday Inn or whatever. We have a lot of them on the back office of us. And we have more luxury stays where your client can stay and also experience 3 days post or pre-cruise in a beautiful place, visiting restaurants, and you can book of them for them local excursions, you can book for them car rentals, and of course it is very important to do travel insurance, because if you don't have that and you have flight delay and they have some hotel somewhere booked and they have to stay in another place because of layover, you want to have that insurance ready, because Alaska trip is anywhere between three, five, seven, $10,000 per family, and you don't want that family to miss any of their activities just because they booked. It's very expensive experience. Car rental, you can prepare in advance, and of course, you can schedule it either before the cruise or after. In Vancouver, we did not need car rental because we could walk around, so we stayed in Hyatt. Hyatt had the view straight to the bay where I could see my ship, where I could board, and I booked it on IntelliTravel back office, and it costed me a good price, and I still got my commission back just because I booked it straight on my IntelliTravel portal, and I tried it all. I tried Hyatt specialty, I tried every single portal, Booking, Expedia, blah, blah, blah. But in the end of the day, when I went to our motherhood IntelliTravel portal, it gave me best rate. It didn't charge me any extra fee, any resort fee, any stuff like that. And you have to be careful about that because you need to see what is extra. So they did not charge me extra. So if you send anybody to Hyatt in Vancouver, this is going to be the price on IntelliTravel. Okay, what else? Important. When you come to Alaska, why people want it? Because they want something special. They want to share it with the family, with kids. Sometimes there are adults that they just want to know about Alaska life. So there are top 10 animals in Alaska. Of course, grizzly bear, moose, bald eagle, humpback whale, wolf, Dall sheep, caribou, orca, the killer whale, and sea otter and Arctic fox. Well, while we were in a Princess Cruise, I saw personally the bald eagle. There are a lot of them. Humpback whale, I saw 15 of them during the excursion. I'm going to talk about that later. I saw sea otters. When you go through the National Glacier, there are little creatures on their backs, holding their tummies or their babies to the heart. Those are little sea otters and they snorkel and they are not afraid of the cruise ship. They just jump in and out. And from the top of the ship, you can see those like 50 of those jumping in and out in front of you. It's a fabulous view and it's something that kids will remember forever. And if you have a kid inside of you, you will remember it forever too. Uh, what we had during our Princess Cruise, for example, but you have also other companies there. You have Holland America, you have many cruise companies there. But Princess is the Princess of the Alaska, and they are established and they have good reputation in that destination. So we had a professor, real-time professor, that would have a class in the theater about whale. And he would tell us about where is their flippers, mouse, rostrum, nipples, and even fluke and genitals. So, and he would have on the deck 16 every single day from 4 to 6, he would have people gathering together and he would have binoculars and photo cameras to show them in the area what is there, how does it swim, what does it eat, and all the animals. He knew it because he had like 20 years of experience. It's very important that you are not just seeing the things, but you also learning something, because it is also like expedition. This is why you are investing. When you send a client to the Alaska cruise, you also sending them to upgrading their level of knowledge, like expedition, so they can share with their loved ones or with kids or with people that never been there. So they will feel proud that they went there and they knew something new. By the way, I wanted to share with you. It's a secret. Chanel number 5, the perfume. First, Chanel number 5, when they started it, they started to use the vomit of the whale to add to every single Chanel number 5 perfume. That was told by this professor. So eventually, so it was so much aphrodisiac, it had so strong power that this is how this perfume became popular. And only later on, they stopped adding throw up of the whale into the Chanel number 5 because he eats, and then he throws up and then eats again like a cow. So they started to do it synthetically. So now you know that if you use Chanel number 5, it's not more throw up of the whale, it's just synthetical thing that reminds the same because its fermentation is so strong and the power of this smell is so strong. I have Chanel number 5. I gotta check if it's good or not. Okay. Top excursions, what you can see on in Alaska. Glacier Bay National Park. When you are going on the cruise, this is what you can see. And I highly recommend to book balcony, because balcony is going to get your clients the biggest view, the biggest vision. Denali National Park tour, you can do it via hiking or you can take helicopter and you can book it the Delta plan. Fjords National Park cruise, Northern Light viewing, dog sledding adventure. Remember, you can do mushing or sledding. Mushing is in the bushes, in the forest where there is no snow. It's cheaper. Dog sledding during the summer, for example, they take you by helicopter or deltaplane and they land you in the snow and then they slide you with the dogs. So Mushin was, I was there this year and the year 4 years ago, it was around $180 to $200 per person. And if you do on the snow sledding with the Delta plan and everything, it takes you up to 500 per person. So you need to know what does your client want. Do they want the simple experience, which is also fun, or they want on the snow, or they have to come back during the early winter or late autumn to experience the same. Whale watching in Juna is a must. I highly recommend it, and everybody from the ship they were excited to do that. Fishing in the Kenai River, you can do fishing in seaward. You can do fishing in every single port where the ship stops. And of course, Alaskan Railroad journey. Railroad, I suggest to book in advance because we took our chance and we did not book. It's in the Skagway, there is a railroad, and you can go all the way up and all the way down. And it takes up to 3 hours. And by the time of 11 o'clock, the whole railroad is sold out. So you do pre-book it in advance. This way you can experience 3 hours of masterpiece, the view, and you go all the way to the top. Where you can book it? There are two. You can send to your client via tour, create the link, things to do in Alaska, send it to them, and you can make commission also on Viator while your clients are traveling to Alaska. It's 13% now. If you are more advanced and educated, you can, after you book their cruise to Alaska, you can sign them up for shore excursions, and they will have automatic email exactly on the dates of the cruising, exactly on the times, which port are they where. So the system is going to give them opportunity to book, and whatever they book, you get paid commission. You just have to remember to register it on the back office. So there are two, Viator or shore excursions, and you see you can share with the client right here. I took Juneau Wildlife watching. I used the Alaska Tales company, so that is a good company. And during this cruise where I went, there were 5 cancellations in 3 ports. And every port where I went, I picked some of them on Viator, and this was exact, that was not canceled. So this company did not, because they are moms and pops company, and they just accept everybody and they accommodate. We were even late in the port, and I texted them on WhatsApp, and they said, okay, we will reschedule you for 10 o'clock. And the for 4 of us, we spent like $1,000, but I know on Viator, I'm gonna get the 13% back. What is next? Top 6 cruise ports in Alaska. We have Juneau, we are visiting while we are there on the cruise. Ketchikan, Skagway, Sitka, Seward, or Whittier. There is nothing to do in Whittier unless to look for that tunnel to get out from Whittier, because it's blocking the road. There is only one way, and it has time combination, so you have to know the time where you have to leave this beautiful city, and there is no car rental unless you book it in advance. Seward, great. In the Seward, you can book fishing, you can book a lot of activities. Seward to me looks like Norway. So everything you dreamed about Norway, you can find in Seward. Sitka, you can find the bears, how they are fishing for the bears, how they are hunting for the fish. And you have to know where exactly the salmon comes, because when the salmon goes up the river, this is when the bears go down to hunt for the salmon. If you send your people not later than July 15, you will be okay, so they will see the bears. We were a little bit in June. The salmon was still not there, so we did not see how they come up, so we could not see any bears. Ketchikan, you can either take excursion and you visit the Totem Park. In Ketchikan, they have a national totem park not really necessary to take the excursion, but because the city is in the port and you can walk in the city. And when you arrive to the port, there is a free bus that is provided by the city that you can visit the whole city. And the most important thing is in Ketchikan is the Creek Street, where there was like a red light street where before were the beautiful ladies servicing the fishermen and the captains. And there is a beautiful story about that, how the women became independent and they paid off their houses and they took care of their business and they could pay their bills and they didn't have to take any responsibility for anything else. So Ketchikan is an interesting city to visit and you don't need to book much excursions because you can walk and you can visit Totem Park by the free bus. Juno is very famous for whale watching. It's also very famous for their bears and any glacier activities. You can book glaciers and stuff like that in Juno. Sitka the same, and Seward is beautiful. You can do visit of glacier in Seward, and you can even see how the ice is so blue, and it's shedding, and it's super silent there. If you go there, you want to take with you just binoculars and you just want to devote yourself to the nature because it's um, uh, the most silent place on earth that I've ever been. This is where we've been, my family. The first one, this is a zip line in Skagway. This we did in Talkeetna, but you can also do the deltaplan with with Denali. You can go and land on Denali. Make sure that the deltaplan is landing on Denali because sometimes they just fly you around, but you don't get the chance to touch the land. Sometimes they add to that the dog sledding, so you want to make sure that you add it in advance. And some of the companies, like I had people that they, because of the weather, they had cancellation of not only the flight and the glacier, but also the dog sledding. So the whole excursion went sideways. So they ended up on the zip line with me because they did not expect the excursion to be canceled. So make sure that you use good company, including shore excursions, that they don't cancel. This is the ship goes so deep inside of the National Glacier Park that you can see the glacier right there behind, and the whole family can enjoy it. And all people, it doesn't matter if they stay in inside cabins, outside, at the balcony, they come out and they stay all over 2 days just to see the glacier and the beautiful views. This is from the Denali. You can fly around and you can see beautiful the mountains of Denali. This is dog Mushin. We're in Talkeetna. We hired the Mushin there, and those dogs are from Idita Road, and they are champions. And their owner is the champion 6 times, the winner of Edita Road. And those dogs, they are not in the slavery. They really actually like to run. And if you don't pick them to run on this carriage, they get upset. They bark and they don't like you if you don't ride them. So whenever they get picked, they are super excited and they are happy. So those dogs are really in good conditions and they are in good hands. This is in Skagway, the railroad that you can take and book in advance. And this 3 hours tour that you can take from that place and you can go around just to see a nice views. What to take to Alaska? Top 10 clothing to recommend to your client. It's a summer cruise. You don't send them on some winter time because it's not so popular. Waterproof jacket. There is always a little bit of wetness and a little bit of rain. So tell them to take just a waterproof windshield jacket. Layering tops. 2, 3 t-shirts and something like a thermo uh, thermosuit that for skiing is very helpful. I took that for my kids, like everything from ski resort. I just picked that and brought to Alaska. Warm sweater, at least one warm sweater, so they are not cold. And then comfortable pants, so they can walk easily. Insulated vest, something that windproof, and sturdy working shoes. You don't walking shoes. You don't have to take like soldier boots or something like very heavy because it's summer, but just walking shoes that they can walk and it can last them, and you use the brands that usually hikers use, and you don't need very very warm. They just need to be like springtime walking shoes. Remember, you are on the ship and there is sun there, and even though it is snow around, in the 2 3 days before, actually my kids, they were swimming the whole week. I couldn't see them swimming in front of the glacier, but this is what happened, and it was okay. Adults were in the jackets and the hats, and the kids were like all over the place because the pools are warmed up, and there is jacuzzi. And also remember, ladies, there is a spa on the ship. So if you have ladies that like the spa, please make them book it in advance. You can book them spa day or massage. They don't have to take massage. They just have access to the spa room for the whole week, especially in the sea days. There is nothing to do much, so they can spend the 2 3 hours in the spa, trying different jacuzzis and steam rooms. Sun hat, sunglasses, you have to have that. And remember, during the most of the cruises, there is a formal night. We had 7 days cruise on Alaska Royal Princess. We had two formal nights. On during two formal nights, we had to dress up in the beautiful outfits and dresses, and my husband had to take the jacket or tuxedo, and we had the official photo shoot. If you buy package in advance, you even have the access and the free pictures from that photo shoot. This way, you will have the memory postcards and memory pictures from not only the freezing cruise, but also you as a family or a couple. Beautiful. I highly recommend to sell to your clients balcony, because sometimes from the single balcony you can see so much more just because you have the access to the morning coffee to open your balcony, and you can see the whole glacier behind you, which is there will happen in the morning. We ordered the room service coffee, we sat on the balcony, we had our robes, we had our kids watching in the binoculars, and we had everything to ourselves. For that, didn't have to go all the way up to the upper deck or try to find the view. The view was always there. So it saved me a lot of aggravation of running up and down. And also, when the time came when we landed, no, we docked in the city, and there was excursion to go see the glacier. I said, listen, we just saw everything from the balcony. We don't need to go spend another 200 per person just to see the glacier that was just out in our window. So that is also very interesting, and kids are very excited seeing all those little otters, the snow and the animal life and the birds. Uh, what else is important? That was me. My name is Ilona Nesterova. I also have a YouTube, and you can find me on Instagram as Ilona Travelona. I share a lot of different destinations like inside of the US, like and the outside. I do a lot of lives and collaborations. If you ever need me from destinations to collaborate with you or to go live somewhere, my email is Ilona travelona@gmail.com, and you can reach out to me. I'm gonna be in 3 days in Europe, so you can reach out to me and we can do also a collaboration there. I'm meeting 3 of my partners and travel advisors in Athens in 3 days. Thank you so much. I'm stopping sharing. If you have any questions, please ask me. Okay, let's read how much. Family for 4, like the one you had. Mine, remember, I had Commodore, I had Commodore certification, so I got my free cruise, but I upgraded it. But because you remember, free cruise is free in the inside cabin. If you go on the free cruise for 7 days in inside cabin, which is the size of walk-in closet, you don't want your family to hate you. You want to upgrade at least to the balcony or junior suite or something. I upgraded 500 per person. For that, it costed for regular people to upgrade, to just book it, 1,500 per person. So it costed me as a travel advisor 2,000 because we were 4, 500 per person, plus my Commodore certificate. And for regular person, it would cost 1,500, which would be times 4, what? 6,000 plus flights, plus hotel, plus all excursions. Remember, excursions are not cheap. Alaska is working only 6 months of the year. They think that you are coming to feed them, and this is the only source of income that they have. So it's better that you prepare your client. My whales, when I went to see the shore excursions, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be the same as my cruise. Whales were like 250 per person. Everything is like 300 per person. So you really don't want to recommend to your client to book every single uh, excursion in every single destination. Pick 2 good destinations. Make them see the whales and make them see something like dogs or the helicopter tour. They will remember it forever and they will still not come back there for another 5 years because they did such expensive course. Best time to go to Alaska is from April to October. Those are the best times. Otherwise, it's dark and scary and boring there. And even people from other states, they don't come to work to Alaska. They come seasonally and they charge you triple. There will be time designated for this excursion. Yes, of course, there is time designated to these excursions. There you have a port day and you have a sea day. On the sea day, you don't go on excursion. You have activities on the ship. But when you have a port day, remember the time when you have to come back. Because if you don't come back, in like we had in Kitchikan, 3 p.m. come back, you don't have much time to go run around the whole city or take 12 hours excursion. So you be mindful about coming back on ship on time. Why is it better, give me a sec, to go book tours for our clients with companies, not with cruise lines? Well, you can do both. If you, whenever you book a cruise, they can, in their back office, in their portal, they can book their excursions themselves. And of course, you get paid for those excursions if they book it in advance, most of the time. Gotta check with every single cruise line. If you send them the sign up for the shore excursion, what are they promoting the shore excursions? First of all, they know exactly your itinerary. They know when you have to get back on the ship, and they promise you that you are 100% guaranteed to be on time on the ship. And the other thing is you get paid from shore excursions, and they send automatic emails to your client or to you. I also personally, I prefer Viator because it's flexible and I can control it. And I found better prices on Viator than on shore excursions or the cruise ship excursions, even though I am supposed to promote the cruise excursions, I found better deals on Viator and better flexibility. And I got 13% right away. I registered outside booking and I'm looking for my commission coming back to me. How much I said? Listen, when I did my insurance, I did a separate insurance. I used Travel Guard. I claimed that it is 10,000 trip and I paid for that insurance for 65, I believe, but it's worth it because if you have a trip that almost $10,000, you want to make sure that everything is fine. Uh, the best time to go April to October, as I said. Is there a way to resolve the excursions once you're on the ship? Yes, there is a way, but a lot of them are sold out, and you want to make sure that they still sell you something. You want just to make sure that it is not overpriced or they still have spots. And for example, there are excursions that are very popular, you want to make sure that you have them booked in advance. Wales, 100% I suggest to book, especially in Viator, there is a opportunity to book now, pay later. So like you reserve the seat, but they charge you a credit card on file maybe 2 days before, and you have 24 hours to cancel, like before the trip, like you changed your mind, which is also very convenient. You don't. Mm, during the sea days, kids clubs are very popular. My kid is the kids club addict. I don't know how to explain it. It is so much fun to do. I cannot be everything that they do in the kids club. I'm talking about there was a princess, but I know from all cruise ships, Royal, MSC, um, Princess Cruises, they have such a great activity program from 3 years old all the way till 17. I have two kids. One is three, one used to be three, now is 8. Now one is 8 and another is 15. Of course, the youngest, which is 8, I had no problem to bring to the kids club, and she signed up the very first day. She almost choked me until I did it. And then they have a time schedule, and they spend so much activities. They have play games. They have even dinner together. She didn't want to join our dinner in specialty restaurants because she wanted to have their own fun. And the juniors, I had to work on that because from 15 to 17, they don't want to be already in there. But in my cruise ship, there was 272 teenagers only. Almost 300 teenagers that they were going around the ship on the regular Princess Cruise. They hang out, they play cards, they play sports game, there is a volleyball, basketball, everything. I had to convince him to go to the teen club first day. Then I promised him something else. Then I promised to cancel his Wi-Fi connection. So he said, okay, I'm gonna go. And they have like the whole gaming room, and they have like, if you like Nintendo Switch or Nintendo games, they had the list of like over 40 different games that you come in on the big screen with the headphones and everything you can play. So I said, if you want to play, okay, don't sit in your room, just go to teen club and play there, and there they get to know each other and they become friends. You're welcome. You're welcome. Any questions that I did not answer or I don't know? I just want to remind you, whatever the cruise you book, you have to be mindful of Wi-Fi. drinks, and specialty restaurants. This is separate, and tips. If you didn't book it in advance, you will have payment after. Plus, you can always organize the land part of it, and your client can, like in Princess, they have a separate place where they have village where they can stay 3 days post cruise, and they have their own beautiful time, and they can still go see the forest, they live in the nice place, and you can still book it on the Princess cruises. This time when we were, there were fires. So every single reservation of the clients were canceled because there was a big fire in the forest, in the where the villages were. So the captain had to take care of that. Make sure it's all good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I don't know about I don't know about the lodge bike and I didn't book it, but I know for sure if you ever have experience with Alaska, you don't want to take just a cruise. You want to take little bit before and little bit after. We stayed this time in Anchorage. We rented a car, and there is a beautiful sanctuary where you can see. It's called Alaska Sanctuary, where you can see uh, wolves, bears. They are in the sanctuary, and actually, Princess Cruise is the sponsor of one of the territories where the bears, according to them, is a little bit like free. So you can see the eagle, the owl, and if you didn't go to the wild a lot and you didn't see, you can see even white wolf over there. It's very, you will need like 2 to 3 hours. Just don't go hungry there because we spent for two teas and two noodles, we spent over $70 just because there is nothing to eat. So eat in advance because there is the pricing is really ridiculous. And to get in, we paid for 4 people of like $100 just to get in, and 2 adults and 2 kids. But it's worth it. They have bisons, they have wolves and the bears. And remember to take umbrella because for whatever reason, it's always raining there. And dry shoes. Yeah, it works the same. Like I did pre-cruising by myself, and I did post-cruising by myself. But you can also book it with the cruise company, and they will arrange it for your client, and you can still make commission on that as well. And I did separate car rental only in Anchorage because you can actually cannot move around without a car. And if you book it in advance, Avis is a good company to book because there is not much companies that will book the car rental. And if you want them to bring your car to the beautiful city of 200 people in whatever, I forgot, Whittier, they charge you if you need just car rental from Whittier is $200. But if you want the car rental to start from Whittier for the just bringing the car to you, they will charge you plus $300. So I decided to take bus. But anyway, if you ever been or planning to be in Alaska, if you prepare your clients to go to Alaska, make sure you arrange everything because it's gonna be one of a lifetime experience and they will remember it forever. And if it's gonna go good, they will recommend you to every single family of theirs and every single friend, and they will tell that you did the whole tour from A to Z, and believe me or not, they will not remember everything, how much it costed. They will remember how it made them feel. So you always want to book them experiences, and you want to book for them memories, because, and you never ask them the budget. You have to ask them how much do they want to invest in their memories and family vacations. Because Alaska, maybe it's a one time in a lifetime experience. I asked one time my friend, he said, this is the only time when I remember when we went with my kids and the family, but that was the only time when I felt that every single dollar I spent for that, it lasted me memories forever, even then when they grew up and they married and remarried and got their grandkids, but they still remember the first time when we went there and we did all those activities. So this is something that you will create for them. Thank you so much, everyone, for being there tonight. Thank you for listening to me. And of course, I'm going to be ready for you for collaborations in Greece. Feel free to reach out for lives. And I wish you a lot of bookings of Alaska if you haven't been. And if you are going to, feel free to reach out to me. I will share whatever I know. I have one client going to Alaska in 2 days. Let's see the stories. They booked everything. Some of them by themselves, and some of it they had auto email coming from shore excursion, so they booked that as well. And of course, I will share with you what they were experienced. Um, Good night, everyone. Feel free to reach out if you need anything. Good to see you.